Here is Tim Berners-Lee. Tim Berners-Lee is going to be the man who created the World Wide Web. He was tinkering around Christmas time. It went live. Some people say December 21st. Others say December 25th on Christmas Day. So that's Tim Berners-Lee. Tim Berners-Lee. Hi, guys. I made the World Wide Web on Christmas morning, 1990. Maybe December 20th. But around the week of, okay? Okay, shit. Gotta be damn sticklers. I was tinkering, you know. I kind of, half fucking assed went up on the 20th. It wasn't fully up until the damn Christmas morning. So this motherfucker is working for CERN. C-E-R-N. C-E-R-N. And CERN is the European Organization for Nuclear Research. So he's like some fucking nuclear scientist, right? The internet was born in 1973, but the World Wide Web was born in 1990, 17 years later. What's the World Wide Web? It's the first website. The first web page, the first website. And it just had a bunch of information about... Basically, you had all these tools. You had HTTP and URLs and HTML, and he just kind of put it all together. He worked on it from October to December of 1990. And then it's going to, be like marketed a couple years later, and they're going to work on it. And then he's going to get fired, and he's going to go somewhere else, MIT or some shit. And Tim's original webpage was a browser and an editor. So we just have browsers. Today, we can't edit it. His idea was the internet was supposed to publish your work. He had been studying all this nuclear engineer stuff, all this nuclear research. So there's a lot of people that want to know what the hell was on Tim's CERN computer. There was a lot of information. And he believed in sharing information. He encouraged others, enthusiasts, to actually start their own servers. And so that's kind of remarkable because it starts out decentralized. Apparently there's no central server. You got ISPs, but there's no central thing called the internet. There's no central thing called the www. Apparently all the computers on the system know the rules. And so therefore all the computers on the system can communicate with each other without an intermediator. He's going to make a listserv. Coding of browsers. 1990, December. He wants people to make their own listservs. So this is 32 years young. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, the World Wide Web. Happy birthday to Lenin's Testament. Happy birthday to the Apollo 8 mission. Happy birthday to Isaac Newton Dido. Thank you. I am what I am. I'll do what I want. I don't go. My tea's gone cold. I'm wondering why I got out of bed at all. Morning rain come to my window. Dark as sea at all. Even if it's all gray. Your picture on the wall, it reminds me it's not so bad, it's not so bad. The average American, when this article, they said 24 hours a week online. The average American spends 24 hours. So back before 1990, nobody was online. The 90s is when the internet, with the web pages and the HTML, URL, HTTP, TTT, packets and clients and servers. And he actually said it was an act of desperation because he's like, fuck, I keep on doing all this incredible research and I want to share my research with other people and I want to see what other people are working on and what their research is, and I just want to have this scientific collaboration. You've done a lot of work, and here, why don't you share your work with that person? So it was decentralized, and it was for not commercial. We're not just trying to make fucking money. We're trying to get smarter here. We're trying to build something here, okay? So that's Tim Berners-Lee. That's the story of Tim Berners-Lee. There's like a whole bunch of things here. December 25th, while you're sitting there pretending that a virgin can give birth. Oh, yeah. You're a virgin, huh? Yeah, I bet you Mary got with Hermes. Yeah, it wasn't Yahweh. You think Mary would get with Jehovah? That old ass man with the fucking beard? No. Why would Mary go with Jehovah when she has Hermes or Hercules or Zeus to choose from? It makes no sense. No virgin birth. He came from the house of David. Joseph is the fucking father. Why are we pretending that, I mean, you think it makes it better by making it miraculous and magical and horse shit? Well, here's a whole bunch of horse shit. God, if you swallow this horse shit, you won't ever, you'll believe bullshit the rest of your fucking life. You won't know what the hell is true and real. You'll have no fucking clue what the hell is true and real. You know, there was a Christmas Day truce between France and Germany. That's good. Christians actually being like Christ. I want to say it's between France and Germany, but it was World War I, 1914, over in Europe. They were playing soccer. They heard them singing fucking, you know, Noel and Christmas carols and shit. So even though the damn elites wanted to send the soldiers into battle as cannon fodder, when the soldiers had heard the opposition singing the same Christmas songs that they were used to, they didn't fight each other. They were singing each other, and then it got into the newspapers, and then the powers that be, the elites, were like, oh shit, if the soldiers start getting along, then maybe it'll be a people's movement, and we won't have any power whatsoever. We got to divide and conquer. We can't let the people get together. But how often, my God, America's one of the most warlike societies out here. Are we serious? They're talking about a Christmas truce. Are we going to get a Christmas truce? I mean, motherfucking Putin and Russians, they're like Orthodox Christians, right? So everybody's loving Jesus here. Everybody's against the fucking Nazis. Everybody loves Jesus. So America, Zelensky, Putin, we're all a bunch of good Christians. Turn the other cheek. Love thy neighbor as yourself. Love thy enemy. So we should have Christmas Day truces all the time. How can war not still be over? War is over. No, it's not. Apollo 8 circles the moon, 1968, 10 times. Lenin gives his 1922 testament. He's saying that Stalin needs to be fucking knocked down a peg or two. This goddamn split between Stalin and Trotsky is going to ruin the communist organization and movement, the entire endeavor. When Nelson Mandela became president, when he got out of prison and became president, he said it was a success for his political party. The ANC, the African National Congress. Dido was born in 1971 on December 25th. That's some real shit. The Christmas Day truce in 1914, that's real. Apollo 8, circling the moon, that's real. You believe some fucking magi and shepherds saw a brand new star in the sky? Well, there's a new star over there. They followed it for 2 fucking years, huh? And then that's where the damn king was, right there. The king was right underneath that star. And the Virgin Queen, she got, you know, impregnated by Hermes the night before. It wasn't Joseph at all. Fuck you. Fuck your bullshit. How in the hell is Jesus born in 4 BC? He wasn't born at 0? Yeah, that is a rebirth, isn't it? That's Jeebus Redux. Talk about a born-again Christian. Jesus was born in 4 BC, and then he was born again at 0 BC? Does Jesus have a younger brother? Is that who our entire timeline is actually centered around? James, but not Jesus? Sony unveils the first transistor TV, 1959, the Treaty of Genocide. So the War of 1812 is over. There's 2 times we got peace on Christmas motherfucking Day. Nixon, even though he didn't bomb Vietnam on Christmas Day, he bombed that fucking week. And so they called it the Christmas Day bombings. So you're going to bomb and kill people even on fucking Christmas? Even on, this is what Christians believe. Peace on earth, huh? By bombing the fuck out of everybody? Why don't you do the Christmas truth like, you know, I want to say French and German troops? Or why don't you do the, even fucking shitty Henry Clay knew that the War of 1812 wasn't going right. So let's get a truce between U.S. and Britain. Tecumseh, they killed Tecumseh. You could take over all those western lands. The White House is burnt down, so fuck, America might not be around if you keep this war up. Canada was not taken over by America. We were going to go save the Canadians from the British oppressors, but apparently Canadians love their monarch. So what a waste. What a fucking waste. World War I, so many fucking lives were killed. Just cannon fodder. Sending good patriotic young men into battle to die for an inch of land over there. Marshall Fields, 1974, he drove his Chevy Impala through the White House fence. Gerald Ford wasn't there, and then they fixed the fence with reinforced steel. Isaac Newton was born. Isaac Newton comes up with the laws of motion. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. He comes up with calculus. He comes up with a formula for gravity. He writes this book called The Formula of the World or some shit. Isaac Newton is basically geometry and mathematics and algebra and calculus. Did you have to learn it? That was all Isaac Newton. Now, Einstein is going to, once you learn up to Isaac Newton, then you should be allowed to read Einstein. Until then, don't fucking read a goddamn word Einstein has to say until you know Isaac Newton's mathematics backwards and forwards. 1989, the execution of the Romanian dictators. I'm going to talk more about this, but they gave a speech at a palace, and then they took the damn dictator over to the alley or lined him up on a wall and shot him. Why? Because for genocide. You killed a whole bunch of people in Timisoara. There was a big massacre. There was a crackdown. There was some protest. And then he just started lighting people on fire and killing the fuck out of them. So that happened December 25th, 1989. It's always a good day to see a dictator, tyrannical, totalitarian dictator piece of shit go down. He was also communist, which kind of gives me some pause because it's like, well, shit, the fascists would want him gone. But a lot of the communists were fascist, authoritarian fucks who'd get in there. He was in there for 22 years, so he was a dictator for 22 fucking years. The estimates of the deaths, range from 1,000 deaths to 64,000 deaths. But it kind of reminds me of the beginning of the Russian Revolution when you had that priest, that father, whatever, marches on the Winter Palace, and then the Tsar's fucking troops just start killing him. The priest and his fucking flock, the shepherd, the good shepherd, Jesus and his flock came up to the palace and you murdered him. You're not going to keep power, man. You're not really fighting for the people, are you? It seems like you're killing the people. They didn't have any weapons. They posed no threat to you whatsoever. You're just killing us. That's all you're fucking doing. So that happened at Timisoara had happened December 17th, 1989. And then this Nicholas Ceausescu, Nicholas Ceausescu is going to give a speech 4 days later. He went to Iran for some reason, too. He goes to Iran, and then he tells his wife and some of his subordinates to handle the massacre. So he hears about the massacre and then goes to fucking Iran. There's his first mistake. They're going to get guilty of economic sabotage. They were trying to build up illegal gathering of wealth. So they were just making more money. They were genociding people. And they also suppressed Christmas. So why did that happen right around Christmas Day? Because they had suppressed Christmas for fucking 2 decades. Now they're doing this fucking massacre. Communist, authoritarian, fascist motherfuckers. You've been in power for 22 years. Our lives haven't got better. They had secret police. They had mass surveillance. It was a totalitarian, human rights abuse, no press freedom, no freedom whatsoever kind of society. It was an autocracy, a dictatorship. No democracy, no voting, no elections. So, show trials, but all that shit happened. Sony unveiling the first transistor TV. I bet you the motherfuckers that believe that the star and David, and then John, what the fuck was Zechariah? Gabriel's going to zip Zechariah's mouth shut. Because Zechariah didn't believe that his old-ass wife could get pregnant after Gabriel told him that she was going to give birth to John. And she gives birth to John right before Jesus is born. Of course, Matthew and Luke, if you're a Christian, you've read the birth of Jesus. You understand the birth of Jesus for yourself. No fucking way you're just listening to other fucking assholes. They're lying to you. No, they want you to just obey them like you're a dumbass child. Yeah, shut up and obey them. So, I think that's a great day. Getting rid of a fucking dictator, that fucking Nicholas Ceausescu. Yeah, Ceausescu, you was in power for 22 years. You never had elections. Our lives didn't get better. But you wanted the power over us, didn't you? And when shit started spinning out of control, you ran off to Iran and put your wife in fucking power. And then more fucking atrocities happened. What the fuck are you doing, man? Then there's a military tribunal. They had a trial. They try to flee by helicopter. Like I said, I'll get back to that. But a lot of shit happened on December 25th to sit there and pretend. And that's also another thing. There's like 20 other gods. People say he was probably born in June or July or some shit. If they were that, you know, the birth. Some people think it's all fucking bullshit. Like believers. There's like Jewish priests that believe essentially in Jesus' story, just not the miraculous fucking birth. Matthew and Luke mention it, but John and Mark, they don't say shit about Jesus' miraculous birth. Why not? Seems like if that's how it fucking went down, it seems like that'd be something you'd want to hang on to and write down. Pass along to your future progeny.